A grounding thought is not about feeling grounded. It is about choosing to connect with the unshakable foundation that exists within you, regardless of the storms above. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about starting with a grounding thought and anchoring your day in wisdom. Enjoy. Every morning, you wake up to a world that's ready to pull you in 1,000 different directions. Before your feet hit the floor, your mind might already be racing with worries, to-do lists, and the endless stream of thoughts that can scatter your energy before your day even begins. But what if there was a simple way to anchor yourself in calm, centered awareness from the very first moment? Today, we're exploring the transformative power of starting with a grounding thought. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how one intentional thought can serve as your daily anchor, and you'll have practical ways to choose and use grounding thoughts that bring stability, peace, and purpose to your morning and beyond. A grounding thought is like dropping an anchor in choppy waters. No matter how turbulent the surface might be, that anchor keeps you connected to something solid, something stable beneath the waves. When you start your day with a grounding thought, you're choosing to connect with a truth, a value, or a perspective that can steady you no matter what the day brings. The beauty of a grounding thought is its simplicity. It doesn't need to be profound or poetic, though it can be. It just needs to be true for you, something that resonates with your deepest values and brings you back to center. It might be as simple as "I am enough," or "this too shall pass," or "I choose peace in this moment." Think about how different your morning feels when you wake up immediately caught in worry versus when you wake up and consciously choose a thought that grounds you in something larger than your immediate concerns. That single thought can shift your entire internal landscape, moving you from anxiety to calm, from scattered to centered, from reactive to responsive. Your grounding thought becomes a touchstone you can return to throughout the day. When you feel overwhelmed, you can come back to it. When you're facing a difficult decision, you can let it guide you. When you're feeling disconnected from your purpose, it can remind you of what truly matters. The key is choosing a grounding thought that genuinely resonates with you. It might be something that reminds you of your inherent worth, your connection to something greater than yourself, or your capacity to handle whatever comes your way. It might be a truth about the temporary nature of difficulties, or the permanent nature of your inner strength. Some people find their grounding thought in gratitude. I am grateful for this new day and all its possibilities. Others find it in acceptance. I welcome whatever this day brings with an open heart. Still others find it in purpose. I am here to make a positive difference in the world. The specific words matter less than the feeling they create in you. A feeling of being anchored, centered, and aligned with what matters most. Starting with a grounding thought is also a practice in conscious choice. Instead of letting your first thoughts be random or reactive, you're deliberately choosing the mental and emotional tone for your day. You're exercising your power to direct your inner experience, rather than being at the mercy of whatever thoughts happen to arise. This practice becomes even more powerful when you pair your grounding thought with your breath. As you think your chosen thought, breathe deeply and let it settle into your body, not just your mind. Feel it in your chest, your belly, your entire being. This helps the thought become more than just words. It becomes an embodied experience of groundedness. Your grounding thought can evolve over time. What serves you in one season of life might not be what you need in another. Pay attention to what you're drawn to, what brings you the deepest sense of stability and peace. Trust your inner wisdom to guide you toward the thoughts that will serve you best. The practice of starting with a grounding thought also trains your mind to look for stability and wisdom rather than chaos and worry. Over time, you'll find that your mind naturally gravitates toward more grounding, centering thoughts throughout the day, not just in the morning. Remember, you don't need to feel grounded to choose a grounding thought. In fact, the times when you feel most scattered or anxious are often when this practice is most valuable. Your grounding thought isn't dependent on your current emotional state. It's a choice you make regardless of how you feel, a way of connecting with something stable even when everything else feels uncertain. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone or jump into your day, take a moment to choose a grounding thought. Let it be something that reminds you of your strength, your worth, your purpose, or your connection to something greater than your immediate concerns. Breathe with it. Feel it. Let it anchor you in the calm center that exists within you always. Starting with a grounding thought is a gift you give yourself every morning. The gift of beginning from a place of stability rather than chaos, wisdom rather than worry, intention rather than reaction. It's a simple practice that can transform not just your mornings, but your entire approach to living with greater peace and purpose. That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening.